Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Cedar Lake for the Warrior Logistics Pro Late Models. As soon as Brett puts his live up in Discord, I'll tell you what we're looking at on screen. Until then, I am currently calling a radio broadcast. There we go, Brett. Thank you. Our producer, Brett Wheeler, generally infallible, but currently probably recovering from the ghost hunts he's been on in the break between races.
Yeah.
A little phasmophobia with him and BJ Duvall. Jerry Van Sickle here with me, and Jerry, a whole lot of excitement in our first race tonight, a whole lot more coming here.
Yes, we were watching some Phasma. I don't know what that game was between the supers and the pros, and I think Brett Wheeler's wife's name is Barbara. I've never met the gal or been formally introduced over the internet, but I think her name's Barbara. He kept yelling Barbara for something. I don't know what the deal was.
Jerry, I couldn't tell you if we're being totally honest, but it was a lot of fun to watch. I'll tell you that much.
It must be some Australian thing.
Your guess is as good as mine. We're wrapping up qualifying here. Evan C. currently at the top of the timesheet, just ahead of Blake Majulis for quick time. Keep an eye on those two. They are first and second in points. Now, Evan C. has already wrapped up the Mimi's Making Some Motion Super Late Model Dirt Series title tonight. He took a 14-point lead into that festivity earlier. Tonight, the Pro Late Model points lead is just 2, Jerry.
Yes, with 4 heat races on top. Look at this. Evan C. coming off that championship run goes P1 in qualifying here tonight. Majulis, Powell, Logan, Toter, Williamson. So, of course, 4 heat races. Your pole setters of your 4 heat races will be Evan C., Blake Majulis, Daniel Powell, and Matthew Logan.
On the pole for heat number 1, it's quick time driver and points leader Evan C. for Victory Lane Racing in the 33. Outside of him, the 23 of Newton Cattle Farms Racing Team Zero race car driver Ethan Toter.
He was runner-up in the Supers earlier tonight. That's Hagen Sorensen, the young racer out of Harlan, Iowa, and to his outside. That'll be the 28 of Alan Holbert.
Hunter Poston in the 58, going to line up in 5th. Outside of him, in row number 36, starting spot is Pennsylvania's number 7, Jaden Wolf.
Then we go to the next row. That will be Chase Hardy, the 116, and Jed Barton in the 115.
Shotgun on the field night starter Bob Klein in the 35. It's all good, Jerry. Don't worry about it.
Sorry about that. I dozed off.
Well, a lot of excitement in between races. A lot of excitement earlier. This heat race, 2 of the 3 podium drivers, Hagen Sorensen second earlier tonight, Ethan Toter third. Blake Majulis, the only podium driver missing out of this heat race. He'll sit on the pole in heat race number 2. Evan C. on the pole in this one, and he has bumped out a 1-point lead after qualifying as we get ready to light the fires and burn the tires here in heat race number 1 off of turn 4.
We get ready to go. I heard that a couple times. We're ready to go. Hey, you looking for a new job?
Am I looking for a new job?
Do you have a Class A CDL?
I do not.
Oh, get it. You and I go team driving for Warrior Logistics. They are looking for drivers right now. Team up. And speaking of team up, we will team up together, Zach, and call this championship night as Evan C. takes the early race lead as he hustles down the front straightaway.
Absolutely. All the driving talent in the world out in front of this one. And Evan C., already a super late model champion this year. Chase Hardy pushes like a dump truck across the nose of the 7 machine of Jaden Wolf. They go 3 wide into turn 3. Hardy on the outside, Wolf in the middle, Poston to the inside. Hardy's going to pull clear into that 5th starting spot. Meanwhile, out in front, C starts to drive away as Sorensen and Toter battle for the runner-up spot.
C looking to be G-O-N-E gone on this one. Hagen Sorensen and Ethan Toter. Toter to the outside. You got a pair of young guns right there. Hagen Sorensen working the bottom of the racetrack. Of course, just almost a year under his belt in iRacing. Got an iRacing rig for Christmas last year and has already been a Pro Late Model champion with us and also has had some great runs this season. And he holds off that challenge from Ethan Toter down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Toter also definitely a young gun, 18 years of old, making the jump to super late models in real life. Only about 8 months on iRacing, so right there behind Hagen Sorensen when Ethan joined. And now you see them battling for a runner-up spot in our first heat race. 2 guys at the top of the timesheet, already a podium finish for both of these guys tonight. And now they're putting on a show here in heat number 2. The popsicle sticks are in the air, Jerry. We've got 2 laps to go.
Down the back straightaway, it is still Evan C., Hagen Sorensen, Ethan Toder, Alan Holbert. Your top four as they hustle on down. The white flag is waving here at Cedar Lake, and there is one lap remaining.
Yeah, white flag is out for Evan C. He's going to walk down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Keep it nice and smooth through that slider line there on that side of the racetrack. He's going to come home with a heat race win. Alan Holbert going to hold off a late charge from Chase Hardy. Hardy, the first man out. Hagen Sorensen and Ethan Toder, second and third. So I believe your top 4 will transfer. So top 3 will transfer. So Holbert and Hardy both going to be mains. Evan C., Ethan Toder, Hagen Sorensen, your top 3, Sorensen in second.
There you go. Like we said, 3 moving on. Speaking of 3, let's back it up on number 2 and go to heat race number 2. Starting lineup for your Warrior Logistics Pro Late models is Blake Majulis, the 127 on the pole, and Kevin Williamson, the 32 to his outside.
The North Georgia Rocket 100% racing driver Tanner Folds in the 15X going to line up third. Outside of him, the Blue Groove Motorsports entry of the 269 of James Grace.
Row number 3, it'll be Mike Augustine in the 72 out of Pennsylvania, and Jacob Fields in the 007 from Indiana, the inside or outside of row number 3.
Mid-South Dirt Slicker driver Brennan Weeks in the Double Deuce going to line up in 7th, starting spot. Outside of him, K. Dillard, Wrench Turner, the 97 of Ryder Cantillo, shotgun on the field. The young buck out of Indiana, it is Rylan Gray.
There you go. Field set and ready. Ha-ha. Majulis on up front. Of course, got that different looking wrap on the Pro Late model than he does the Super, so it's easy to tell them apart when they're sitting back there in the pits.
Yeah, the Clay Knight inspired entry there.
Yes.
So there you see good qualifying effort for Kevin Williamson, Jerry.
Yes, great run there. As we go to the green flag, they'll hustle on down into turn number 1 and 2. It'll be Blake Majulis, Tanner Folds, Kevin Williamson, Mike Augustine. Like we said, 3rd and above go to the A. The rest come to a series of last chance qualifiers. It'll be Majulis on out front. Imagine that, showing the way down the front straightaway.
Yeah, Blake Majulis already opening up a gap on Tanner Folds. Williamson going to slot back into that 3rd and final transfer spot. But Jacob Fields in the 007 machine is on the way to the front of the pack. He sets his sights on Williamson in that final transfer spot as we work lap 3.
Down the back straightaway, still Majulis, Folds, Williamson, Fields, Augustine, Grace, Cantillo, and then Weeks and Gray round out the field. Majulis still out front, and now look at this. Here comes the 007, Jacob Fields, trying to go James Bond on him. He'd like to not race a last chance qualifier tonight and make his way into the A main out of a heat race. He'll look to the bottom, tickle the tires down the bottom side, battles on for 3rd.
Yeah, nose pushed a little bit there on him in turns 3 and 4. He's going to slide back into that 4th spot, but he's not done yet. We work lap 5 of this 8-lap heat race. Blake Majulis continuing to lead. Unsurprising. Tanner Folds holding on to 2nd. The battle is on, though, for that final transfer spot as Fields going to start poking his nose back into Kevin Williamson's business off of turn 2.
Down the back straightaway, Blake Majulis, Tanner Folds, Kevin Williamson. Still under attack by Jacob Fields in the 007. You see it. Kevin Williams with the old Dunlop, the old Granton, Pennsylvania sponsored ride down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Look at this. Crave cases are coming. White Castles are served, and you've got a new transfer car.
Yeah, slider from Fields in 3 and 4 moves him into 3rd. Williamson going to try to throw one of his own. It's not going to stick. Out in front, it's all Blake Majulis in that D1RT 127. He's going to lead comfortably off of turn 4 to a heat race win. Tanner Folds in 2nd. Jacob Fields will be your 3rd and final transfer driver. Kevin Williamson, great run for him, but comes up just a little bit short, as do Augustine, Grace, Cantillo, and the rest of the field. They'll go to the alphabet soup we got coming up in a minute as we go to your official results. It is Majulis, Folds, and Fields to the show. Everybody from Williamson back, Cantillo, Weeks, and Rylan Gray. Rylan Gray not finishing that race. They're going to go to the alphabet soup, Jerry.
Yes. Here we go. It'll be heat race number 3, where it's Daniel Powell in the 003 on the pole, and there she is. That is the $1 Million Motorsports entry, Jennifer Hans in the 11 machine.
Brent Carter in the 69 going to line up on the inside of row number 2. Outside of him, it's Hunter Parsons for Ryco Motorsports.
Oh, I think I know that guy. Here we go. Heat race number 3. Row number 3, it's Aaron Keel in the 8 machine and Dylan Gibbs in the 6 car.
California's Jerry Flippo for D1RT in the 13, going to line up in 7th starting spot. Outside of him, it's Logan Rourke in that 17 machine. Shotgun on the field, the 77 of Robert Fletcher. So Daniel Powell is the 003 on your scoring column. He is the 32 on the racetrack, so keep an eye on that as we get ready to go heat racing in this one. Again, 8 laps the distance. Top 3 will transfer. We've already seen 6 drivers punch their ticket to the Championship Sunday feature event here in the Warrior Logistics Pro Late Models. We'll see which 3 drivers can add their names to that list as the pace truck makes the long run down the front straightaway to the pit exit, and we are underway. Powell off to an early lead.
They'll work him on down into turn number 1 and 2. It will be Daniel Powell in the 003. Then Jennifer Hans to the number 2 spot. Look at this. Hans will get moved on back into the number 3 spot. Carter to the outside. Yes, it is. I believe that is the Titletown Terror out of Green Bay. Hunter Parsons. We see him in an IMCA modified at the 141 Speedway year-round. And already back into iRacing. Speaking of modifieds, here comes Jerry Flippo, that West Coast IMCA racer, into the number 5 spot. Now looking for 3rd.
Flippo going to poke his nose to the bottom of Hans. He's going to try to make it 2 for 1 on lap 3 as he goes to the inside of Parsons. They touch just a little bit. It's a 3-way dance after some right side romance from Hunter Parsons to Jennifer Hans last lap. And now they work down into turns 1 and 2. Parsons on the high side, Flippo to the bottom. He's going to slot in, try to maybe behave himself for a little bit for a lap or 2 as Daniel Powell and his teammate Brent Carter for VLR are going to go 1 and 2 as we work past halfway.
It's Powell and Carter on out front. Hunter Parsons in the number 2 and that 3 and final spot. Now Jerry Flippo running to the bottom of the racetrack. Flippo downstairs. They'll work door to door off of turn number 4 here at Cedar Lake. Down into turn number 1. 3rd on back is up for grabs. You've got him. You don't want to run 4th in this one. Flippo knows he does not want to run a last chance race. He wants to make it in through the heat race. Down the front straightaway, it's still Flippo chasing Hunter Parsons.
Flippo all over the Titletown Terror there in the 0 machine. Out in front, Powell starting to pull away a little bit in the 32. We may see Flippo get a little bit of a pick set here as they close in on the 69. The white flag is out. 32 still out in front. Brent Carter in 2nd. Flippo going to try to make a move as they come down the back straightaway.
Flippo looking to eat him up like a bowl of Lucky Charms. Can he get her done? He'll do it. It'll be Powell, Carter, and Flippo. Parsons, who ran 3rd in that one most of the race, gets snookered and his pocket picked there, and he'll go to the front of one of the last chance qualifiers. Taking a look at your...
No, go ahead, Jerry. I was going to say, I was going to say right side romance there, gets that final transfer spot.
Yes, Hunter Parsons is used to that. He gets it quite a bit. Daniel Powell, Brent Carter, and Jerry Flippo working uno, dos, and trace to the A main.
Everybody from Parsons on back. Going to head to one of our alphabet soup races. Parsons will start up front in RB main, so he'll probably be just all right there. You see 3 D1RT drivers in the top 3 of this 4th heat race. Matt Logan in the 55 out of Carolina. On the pole, it's another Carolina driver, John Ruggiero Jr. for D1RT in the 44. Going to roll off to his outside.
On to row number 2 to the inside, it's Clay Devon. They're in the 84, and Eric York in the 89.
Joseph LaValle, our neighbor to the north out of Canada in the 78, going to line up in 5th. Outside of him, it's the Mid-South Dirt Slingers number 92 of Corey Austin.
Final 2 starters going to be Keaton Holder in the 27 and Trent Hitchens in the 31. Those are your cars and stars for your 4th and final Warrior Logistics heat race here on season 11 2 of the World of Thunder Esports League Supers.
Season 11 of these pro late models, and we're ready for season 12 coming up in a few short weeks, but we got a little bit more racing left in 11 as Matt Logan going to dive to the inside off of turn 4 down the front straightaway, slide up into the lead in front of his teammate Ruggiero. Another D1RT driver in 3rd, currently holding down all those transfer spots. Joseph LaValle, our Canadian friend, giving chase in 4th.
Down the back straightaway, now down the front straightaway. Watch this, Logan, Ruggiero, and Devon. Devon right back there in the 84 car working that 3rd spot. He's got company. Here comes the Canadian working downstairs. Top 4 breaking away.
Top 4 start to pull away from the bottom 4 in this heat race. The 3 D1RT drivers all going to the high side here, ripping the lip around Cedar Lake. LaValle going to stick to the bottom. try to commit down there, see if he can reel in Clay Devin, currently holding down that final transfer spot, running behind Ruggiero Jr. and Logan, your top three.
Down the back straightaway, still Logan, Ruggiero, and Devin. Top three looking to punch their ticket, but this one is still early. We hit the cross flags. We're halfway home on this one. Matthew Logan in the 55 running the wheels off that thing on up front. Keaton Holder out of this one early, so that leaves a 7 on racetrack, and they'll hustle off of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway.
Yeah, Matt Logan trying to run away and hide as best he can from his two teammates. He starts to open up a little bit of gap as Ruggiero Jr. begins to explore the bottom side of the new Richmond, Wisconsin speed plant where we find ourselves this evening for Championship Sunday, the World Thunder Esports League. Logan leading with the popsicle sticks in the air. Ruggiero now to the bottom of the racetrack in 1 and 2.
Down the back straightaway, like you said, Ruggiero trying some different lines on this one. Now it is going to come to time to school yourself and figure out if you can learn a different line around this place in your pro setup. Come feature time as the white flag is out. Matthew Logan, John Ruggiero, and Clay Devin. Uno, dos, tres, and well, Quattro's going to the front of a B later tonight as it is Logan, Ruggiero, and Devin punching their tickets to the A-main.
LaValle, Hitchens, York, Austin, and Holder are going to have to work their way in. Keaton Holder with some mechanical issues does not finish the race. So as we go to our official results here, before we line up our C main, he's going to have his work cut out for him at the bottom of that finishing order in our last heat race. You see Logan, Ruggiero Jr., and Devin, your top three. So they're in the show. LaValle, Hitchens, York, Austin, and again, Keaton Holder going to have to work their way in. You see the Cedar Lake Speedway sign there on the highway as the top 4 will transfer out of this C main. So chaos probably about to unfold as these guys try to put a whole lot of cars in just 4 spots. On the pole, it's the Plains' Aaron Keel in the 8. Outside of him, Tennessee's Eric York in the 89.
That's Hunter Poston in the 058 machine, and it'll be Ryder Cantillo in the 13 to his outside.
Going to be Robert Fletcher in the 77 machine, going to roll off the inside row number 3. Outside of him, the 92 of Mid-South Dirt Slingers, Corey Austin.
Then we will take a look here at row number 4. Jed Barton from Indiana in the 115, and Brenna Weeks in the double, or the 0 double, if I could talk, the odd double 2, the outside of row number 4.
New York's Dylan Gibbs going to roll off the inside of row number 5. Outside of him, the 27 machine of Keaton Holder.
Then we will go to a row number 6 where it's Bob Klein to 35 and Ryland Gray in the 20. And in the drag slot, it'll be Logan Rourke in the 17. So those are your cars and stars. It's excitement. C-main, final C-main.
Feels like we're in for a dandy here. 13 drivers trying to fit into 4 spots, Jerry. And I don't know if you're if you're as bad at math as I am, but that's more cars than we've got transfer spots. So these guys are going to be fighting real hard, although, Jerry, it looks like we're missing a couple of guys. And when I say a couple, yeah, I mean half the field. Only 6 guys made the grid here for this C main. So these 6 drivers going to be fighting for 4 transfer spots.
Well, what happened here is you're in Wisconsin, and the cheese curds here are amazing. So they figured, hey, I don't think we can make the show. Let's just go eat some cheese curds. We're in Wisconsin. Either that or they're trying to do some cow tipping. One of the two, I'm not sure.
Oh, man. Well, you load it up. You head to the concession stand, get you a bag of cheese curds, and watch the stars of the Warrior Logistics Pro Late Models get after it in this C main. And you can see there's some beating and banging going on. Eric York out of Tennessee in the 89 machine starts to open up a little bit of a lead over Hunter Poston. But we've got our first caution in this 8-lap C main, and caution laps do count, Jerry.
Caution out. 6 cars. Let's see what happened here. I'm waiting for it.
It's coming. Bob Klein there in the 7 involved as Ryder Cantillo. Oh, yeah, you got Cantillo and Austin banging around there. And then, there you go. Corey Austin gets a little romance from Cantillo down the back straightaway.
I was trying to figure out if that wrecking trap. I'm like, time out a minute. I'm going to take my headset off, go down and talk to the flagman for a minute. If he threw a yellow for that thing with 6 cars on the racetrack. But then here's where some retaliation comes back, and then something got broke on the 92 of Corey Austin. Then, like a big old kiss to the concrete. Now he is on his ways to the cheese curd stand and looking for a brat.
Nothing wrong with either of those options.
No.
For a nice meal here in southern Wisconsin against Cedar Lake, the site of our racing action tonight for the World of Thunder Esports League. It is Championship Sunday for the Warrior Logistics Pro Late Models, part 2 of our big special Championship Sunday events, and we're going to get ready to go back to green. Eric York, Hunter Poston, Robert Fletcher, and Ryder Cantillo in the 97. Currently, your drivers holding down transfer spots.
Yes, they are. So we're going to see what happens in this one. As the green comes back out, we're underway. Just a pair to go, as it is still York, Poston, and Fletcher. Your top 3. Fourth right now is Cantillo. They're trying to race their way into the B main for their last chance to dance. Can it happen? We'll find out. Down the back straightaway, 2 to go.
And Cantillo glues that thing to those buried tires in the inside of turns 1 and 2. He's going to do the same in 3 and 4. Keep an eye out back there is Dylan Gibbs. Big slider served on Bob Klein. White flag is out. Cantillo going to look to the bottom of Fletcher. That's the battle for third. They're both in a transfer spot. You're racing for track position in the B main now as Cantillo goes back to the bottom in this one. Does he get that third spot off the bottom of the corner, Jerry? No, he does not. York, Poston, and Fletcher. Cantillo comes home in 4th and final transfer spot.
So as that wraps up the C main, we will see what happens here coming up the B main. So York, Poston, Poston, Fletcher, and Cantillo going to the A. Klein, Gibbs, Austin, Keeley, Barton, Weeks, Holder, Gray, and Roark. Thank you for being here, and we will see what we can find out here in the B main, as it is time to take a look at your starting lineup.
On the pole, it's Alan Holbert in the 28. Outside of him, the Dunder Mifflin machine of Kevin Williamson in the 32.
Taking a look, there it is from Green Bay, Wisconsin. We'll see if he can. He ain't good at racing his way out of a B main. I've watched many times. The Ryko Motorsports, number 5, that's Hunter Parsons, and Joseph Lavallee out of Canada in the 7. I said that right, didn't I?
You're close enough for me, Jerry, and I'm sure he's probably polite enough to tell you did okay.
Yes. Or maybe he's from French Canada and he'll yell at me. I'm not sure.
Could go either way. Chase Hardy, the Winchester Wildman in that 116 machine out of Winchester, Virginia. Going to roll off the inside of row number 3 outside in Pennsylvania Hot Shoe, Mike Augustine, and I believe the 429 this evening.
Then we'll see Jennifer Hantz. She will roll off in the 11 car to the 7th spot, and starting 8th to be Trent Hitchens in the 31.
Jaden Wolf out of Pennsylvania and James Grace for Blue Groove Motorsports in the 269 make up row number 5.
Then we go to row number 6, where we will see Eric York and Hunter Poston in the 058.
Robert Fletcher and Ryder Cantillo, those last 4 your C main transfer drivers. We'll see if they can keep the drive alive and make the run into the A main. They've got a long way to go, but only 2 drivers will not transfer out of this B main. So top 12 go to the show, so the distance not that short. In fact, 2 of those guys already in contention. Cantillo, one of the 2 that's not, though, goes to the high side, as we've got a mess over in turn 1.
Ooh, yes, we do. We'll go back and get a look at that thing, as things got all kind of cracked up. See who was all who was all involved and all of that stuff. So as we took it from the drop of the green, chaos will ensue. Looking there with Trent Hitchens. Oops, just got her backed up on top of the wall, and that's all it took.
Yeah, James Grace gives, I believe, Hitchens a healthy dose of nose as they head into the corner there. I think maybe Hitchens was afraid that car was going to get loose on him, got on the brakes a little hard, and James Grace introduces himself. Hunter Poston going to get collected in that as well. Ryder Cantillo may have taken some damage there as he makes contact with James Grace in the fallout. He gets into the FTP 58 of Poston and hard into the wall. I think Poston is actually who brings out the championship or the caution flag here on championship night in that Longhorn as he kind of comes to a stop up there in the top of turn 2.
Yes, so 269, that was not fine there on the back straightaway. So we'll see who's all making their way. It looks like all 3 of them there are making their way to the rear of the field. So that will set us up Yeah, it's like you said, caution laps count. Holy cow, Hunter Parsons is leading this thing. Oh, I tell you what, if he can win at B-Main, it will be legendary in Green Bay. I think they'll celebrate more of him winning a B-Main than they would a Packers victory. So we'll see what happens on him as he works his way into La La Land, sleeping on the pillow to the top side.
Well, you hope that Hunter Parsons can win this one a little prettier than the Packers beat Carolina yesterday.
Easy, a win's a win. Wins a win.
Look, I love the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is my favorite football player, Jerry. I'm fully on board, but Hunter Parsons got his hands full with the wild man out of Winchester, Virginia, Chase Hardy, rolling the bottom here at Cedar Lake. As Parsons may have scrubbed the wall there, he's going to lose a little bit of momentum around the high side. Hardy going to keep sticking his nose there around those buried tires off of turn 4 here. He slides up the racetrack, still in second. 3 to go.
3 to go. It's still Parsons, Hardy, Holbert, Augustine holding on in that 72 car to the final transfer spot. Still Hunter Parsons out of Titletown working the top spot. The 116 of Chase Hardy, Holbert, and then Augustine, your top 4.
Hardy going to hustle up to the high side there behind Parsons through turns 1 and 2 as the battle is now on for 5th. Williamson going to look to the outside of Jaden Wolf. Jennifer Hans back there involved in that battle as well as that 7 machine goes to the high side. Williamson gets into the wall. That's going to cause a big problem for him. The white flag is out, so we're going to run this one to the start-finish line. It's going to be Parsons by a nose over Chase Hardy. Holbert, Augustine, Wolf, Hansen, Cantillo. Cantillo makes it in to 7th from the back, from dead last, I think, on the grid.
There you go. Field is set. Championship. Amen. And I tell you what, I'm not going to lie. Cedar Lake Speedway. What a show. Hunter Parsons, Chase Hardy, Mike Allen, Holbert, and Mike Augustine. Top 4 going to the back, going to your 20 or your final starting spots. Then it's Wolf, Hans, Cantillo, York, Fletcher, Poston, Hitchens, Grace. Top 12 made it. So down to James Grace. They go in, and then, 2 guys going home.
Yeah, they're going to transfer to the concession stand, put the car in the trailer for the year. Cheese curds on the menu, though, so nothing wrong with that. We're going to take a quick commercial break, come back with our final feature of Season 11 competition as the World of Thunder Esports League season concludes from Cedar Lake with the Warrior Logistic Pro Late Model. Stay tuned after this with a special Big Block Modified event. That'll come up at 8:45. An exhibition event for the World of Thunder tonight coming up for Season 12, but the last competition of the season right after this. Short break, and we're back here. The World of Thunder Esports League. We're going back to front with your starting grid. Jerry, kick us off.
Starting 24th tonight. The 269. Dang, that's fine. James Grace in the Blue Grid Motorsports. 24, and Trent Hitchens in the 31 rolls off 2-3.
Hunter Poston for VLR in the 58 machine. Going to roll off the outside of row number 11. Inside of him, it is Robert Fletcher in the 77.
Then we will go to row number next, which will see Eric York in the 89 machine and Ryan Cantillo in the 13.
Jennifer Hans, the First Lady of Dirt for $1 Million Motorsports, going to roll off the outside of row number 9 in the 11. To her inside in 17th starting spot, Pennsylvania's Jaden Wolf in the 7.
Rolling off row number 8 to the right side, that's Mike Augustine in the 72 and Alan Holbert to the left side of row number 8 in the 28.
It's the Winchester Wildman Chase Hardy in the 116, going to roll off in 14th starting spot. Inside of him, the Titletown Terror out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's the 0 of Hunter Parsons.
Then we will see, starting 6th row on the outside, that's Clay Devitt in the 84, and the 1 is Jerry Flippo out of Bakersfield, California.
D1RT Secret Agent Man, the 007 of Indiana's Jacob Fields, lines up in 10th. To his inside, the DeMossville Destroyer out of DeMossville, Kentucky. That is Newton Cattle Farms racing driver Ethan Toder.
Then we will go right there to the next row. That is going to be, I lost it. My screen just went out. I apologize on it. John Ruggiero in the 44. And there, of course, we'll get the rest of the lot. We'll get the rest of the starting grid here for you momentarily. Is just as we did with the supers. It is time as they set it up 4 wide. Zach Newton. Oh, you know what this is, don't you?
Oh, Jerry, this is the most exciting side in all of motorsports.
This is sexy right here. Race fans, you've been with us all races here on Season 11. You've asked for the best. You've got them 4 abreast right here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. They come down in front of the grandstands. That salute to you, the race fans. This is their way of saying thank you for supporting us as they go 4 wide, showing you that you've got the best on the racetrack.
Absolutely. Going to bring the rest of the grid here. It is John Ruggiero Jr. and Brent Carter going to roll off in row number 4. Row number 3, Hagen Sorensen, Tanner Folds, Matt Logan, and Daniel Powell make up row number 2, and Blake Majulis and Evan C. your points top 2. And we will go to Alex Robinson during our first caution flag to get you the... Actually, we'll go to Alex right now. Alex Robinson here. If we can get his mic unmuted. There he is. Alex, give us the points breakdown here as we get ready to get this thing underway.
If Evan C. wins, Evan wins the points here. If Blake Majulis finishes at 5 positions higher than Evan C., Blake Majulis is your points champion. If Evan C. finishes 4th, 4 spots compared to Blake Majulis, it's a tie, and we go to the tiebreaker.
Okay, so there you have it. Thanks, Alex Robinson, our numbers correspondent. We'll have to go to race control and Steve. Brett, I don't know how we break ties in the World of Thunder. As we get ready to go green in this one.
Paper, rock, scissors.
They just... No. What about rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Brett? Did you ever think of that? I doubt it. So we get ready to go green in this one this time.
How about...
It's rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. You have to add... If you add the...
Somehow, time out. You're missing a cougar in this deal. Ricky Bobby would have a cougar in this deal.
We're underway in this one, final race of World of Thunder Season 11. Couldn't have more fun doing this if we tried. Jerry Evans to the bottom of the racetrack, Blake Majulis to the top side. It's where you see Blake Majulis get outran on a restart, but it just happened. Here's Evan C. going to come to the lead lap 1.
Evan C. on out front, your race leader. Majulis running second. Logan, Sorensen, Powell, Folds, and Carter. That's your top step. We got trouble. Car's getting turned sideways deep in the field, and we've got one upside down over in turn number 2, and we are under the caution.
Well, Jerry, if you're looking for some scrap sheet metal, there's about to be a fire sale outside of Cedar Lake Speedway as we've got a whole big pile in turns 1 and 2. We go to our Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay, and you can see they're getting racy in 3 and 4. There's Toder, Carter, and Ruggiero Jr. 3 wide as they come through turns 3 and 4. And then you see, looks like Sorensen going to come across the nose of the 32 machine, and then he collects his teammate Brent Carter. And then around they go, and then from there on back, it's just a pileup as all these guys have nowhere to go. You see Hardy, Holbert, Augustine, and Hans 4 wide. Hardy gets his the whole car wadded up there. We'll see if he can keep rolling, but a whole bunch of guys involved just with nowhere to go.
And that will happen, unfortunately. So tough break as we sure we'll see some guys going to the back, get that end of line shot, and probably getting a free reset on this one. So we'll see what happens as we get ready to go to the green flag. It's still Evan C. and Blake Majulis up front where they have been, well, all season long. You can't take anything away from those 2 drivers. There's a reason they are starting 1 and 2 on championship night, and there's a reason they're running 1 and 2 in points. Absolutely.
Consistency and just success throughout the season as these guys have accounted for almost every win across a couple of divisions here in the World of Thunder. Is Evan C. going to run the bottom on the restart? He's going to try to slide up the racetrack and take Majulis' line away. He does that down the back straightaway. Matt Logan in the 55 going to look to the inside of his teammate. Sorensen and Folds going to split out. Those 2 teammates for 100% Racing going to go 2 by 2 behind the D1RT guys. That's your top 5.
Now they'll hurry and scurry down the back straightaway. Evan C., Blake Majulis, Matthew Logan, Hagen Sorensen, Tanner Folds, the out 1-5. They were your top 5. Look at this. You've got 2 great lanes of racing. You got Tickle in the tires and Cram in the Crete. Top and bottom, they go off a turn 2 and down the back straightaway. We will see them as they hustle side by side. Hagen Sorensen's got Jacob Fields, Tanner Foltz. They swap spots as here comes the 007. And look at Ethan Toter. Toter's going to tote the line around the outside.
Yeah, Blake Majulis has taken the race lead from Evan C. there through turns 1 and 2. Now, C's got to slide back a few more spots for that to matter in the grand scheme of things. C's points lead is such that if he finishes 4 spots or more behind Majulis, that will hand the 127 the points championship. As they run right now, Evan C. still holding on to the top spot in the points lead, but Blake Majulis winning the battle out in front of the race.
So they work them on down. Like you said, we talked about it earlier. You've got the war and the battle. The war, of course, is the season. The battle, of course, or the war's tonight. The battle's all year. And it has been Majulis and C. Now look at this, the 45 of Hagen Sorensen. Sorensen up there going to knock the Crete down once again. Right behind him sits that 007 of Jacob Fields, John Ruggiero, Tanner Folds, Jerry Flippo, Ethan Toter, and Ryder Cantillo working out of the B main up into the 10th spot.
Yeah, Cantillo came all the way from the C main, and he's up to the top 10 already. Hunter Parsons, the Titletown Terror, back there in 11. Cantillo up 9 spots in that 97 machine. You see Toter trying to slide up the racetrack behind Jerry Flippo. That's your battle for 8th. Cantillo going to hitch his wagon to that star here in the next couple laps as Toter runs through the middle, pushes up the racetrack, and gets into the turn 2 wall.
That thing can get treacherous. It's a long road to hoe way up top when you run around the outside, just as that 007 is doing. They'll hurry on down the front straightaway, now down the back straightaway. It is trouble down in turn 3 and 4. Hang on, a little dozer action as we will be going to the caution flag, and we've got one laid upside down in turn 2.
That's Ethan Toter on the lid in that number 23 machine after contact with Ryder Cantillo. And he and Cantillo had a little bit of contact during the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League Short Track World Championship on the other side of the weekend back on Thursday and Friday. So maybe a little tempers flaring there. And yeah, you see Toter a little right side romance. And Cantillo does not take kindly to that, drives down the racetrack on him. And that's going to do the end. That's going to probably be the end of the night for Toter. Cantillo going to go to the end of the longest line if he's able to continue.
Look at that. Cantillo's going to see him. He's going to slide it on in there. It ain't going to stick. If I don't know. There we go. And then up the hill he goes. And then it's like, hey, look at this. I'm going to take a look up under the skirt and show everybody where the fun house is as he lays upside down on the back straightaway. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure they'll both go to the back. Toter is out. Of course, damaged too much for there. And we put Cantillo to the rear of the field. But still up front, it's Majulis and the 33 of Evan C. They're still up there.
Absolutely. And again, Evan C. has to lose a couple more positions for things to really matter. Hagen Sorensen was able to wrestle 3rd spot away from Matt Logan before the caution flag came out, so he's going to restart in the bronze medal position as we work down into turn 1 and 2. They're 3 wide now. Jacob Fields goes to the outside of his D1RT teammates, Matt Logan and John Ruggiero Jr. That's your battle for 5th. Give it to Jacob Fields as they work off of turn 4. Almost. He's still right behind Matt Logan for 4th.
They do it. It's Majulis, C, Sorensen, Fields. Now Logan back ahead of Fields for the number 4 spot. They'll race side by side, door to door, and wheel to wheel as Ruggiero sits there. Here comes Jerry Flippo down on the bottom. They work down into turn number 1 and 2. The 55 downstairs. Then to the outside is that 44 Ruggiero. He watches that battle. The 25 of Matthew Logan and the 007 of Jacob Fields.
Yeah, absolutely great top 5 racing here. As you see, Tanner Folds going to slide to the inside of the 44 machine. He's going to whoa up and not take Ruggiero Jr.'s nose off as they work through turns 1 and 2. Ruggiero Jr. going to follow in the tire tracks of the 007 of Jacob Fields. Fields on his way to the front after starting mid-pack. Now Ruggiero Jr. goes to the bottom of the racetrack in turns 3 and or is that 1 and 2? It's tough to tell in the in-car camera, if I'm being honest with you, Jerry. Easy to lose track. There's the front straightaway in the press box and us 2 handsome lads high above the Cedar Lake Speedway.
Caution's out. Caution's out. Oh, challenge for Lee. I thought I'd seen the thing turn yellow. Battle for the lead. Here we go.
Jerry.
Down the front straightaway. Sorry, now the yellow.
Brett Wheeler, our producer, says challenge for the lead.
I looked
Jerry.
up and thought I'd seen yellow. Well, first of all, I didn't know what he was saying because he talked so funny. I thought I heard him yelling Barbara or something, but here we go. Let's watch the replay here. Big Tanner will ride along with Tanner Foltz.
Tanner's going to kiss the concrete there in turn 2 and then loop it off the wall and just park it.
At everybody.
And so that's a couple guys making contact there with Tanner Foltz. Not sure why he comes off the turn 2 wall, and I guess he just gassed it up and spun it. Usually you kind of get out of the throttle and try to pull it down off the wall.
I'm not sure who that 77 was, or this guy right here, right there. They got they got closer to getting action than I did on prom night to that wreck right there. Holy cow! Yeah. Whew, that was close.
Yeah, and you see, so Tanner Foltz going to go to the end of the longest line. If he is able to continue after that, he is back to 22nd spot. As we double the field up here to get ready to go back to racing action, we are underway. Blake Majulis going to lead off at turn 4. Sorensen going to try to poke his nose to the inside of C. Can't quite get there as they work into turn 1. Top 3 single file out. It's 2x2x2 all the way back.
The workman rows of 2 there for 4th on back. Is it side by side? It'll be Fields in the 007 down around the bottom side. The 55 machine to the outside. There's Ruggiero, Matt Logan right there. Hustling wheel to wheel. Jerry Flippo there. And here comes Hunter Parson around the outside, working them down into turn number 3 and 4, and now down the front straightaway.
Yeah, battle on for all the positions on the racetrack except for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And now 4th is Jacob Fields. Has pulled out single file from the rest of the pack ahead of his 2 D1RT teammates, really 3 D1RT teammates, as Jerry Flippo is back there running in 7th, trying to hold off a challenge from Jaden Wolf to his inside as Flippo going to kiss the concrete, and Hunter Parsons now going to hitch his wagon to that star.
Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. It's still C and Majulis battling for the lead. We'll work them wheel to wheel. A pair of champions working on up front. The guys are side by side down the back straightaway. Majulis on the top side. To the inside is Evan C. The 127 around the outside. It'll be C on the bottom. Evan C going to be credited that time with a race lead at the flag stand.
C going to commit to the bottom off of turn 2. He's going to slide up and get Majulis' nose almost. He doesn't quite go all the way to the top of the racetrack, take his nose away. They run inches apart through turn 3 and 4, both on the high side of the racetrack. C back to the bottom in 1 and 2. Majulis to the lip. Majulis is going to rip it off at turn 2. Does he get the momentum to get the lead back? He does not. He's numbered deep to C's outside as they work through 3 and 4. C through the middle. Majulis to the outside.
They'll work them on down the back straightaway. Now down the front straightaway. They are paired up like they're going to the Oregon Trail down the back straightaway. It is Evan C. on the bottom. The 127 of Majulis downstairs. Oh boy, crossover move. Crave cases are served. No orders of fries needed with this. It's nothing but sliders on up front for the lead.
Absolutely. Evan C. going to wrestle the lead back from Majulis down the back straightaway. He's finally pulled clear of him. As now we've got a yellow flag out. So we're going to see if Evan C. I believe you said Evan C. led that last lap. So we will restart with Evan C. as your leader as we go to our Ultimate Dirt TV Instant Replay. And if you'd like to sponsor these replays for Season 12, message our Facebook page. Get in touch with Brett Wheeler. We'd love to have you on board as you see Jaden Wolf having a good run in that number 7 machine. And D1RT teammates going to make contact. Flippo spins Fields. And then it's Bedlam at the top of turn 2.
Oh, look at that! Hunter Parsons way up under the skirt, getting a look. I want to see the in-car from Hunter Parsons' Zero machine. Look at that! Just drove him all the way to the end, as that thing got UGLY up there on the top. Here we are from onboard. You see Fields checked up a little bit. That's going to let Flippo get checked up, and here comes the fun house. Grr.
Oh yeah, all up in the.
Yeah, look at that fast shaft drive shaft underneath that thing. Man, I tell you, he's so close. Yeah, he got so close you could see Jerry Flippo's driving suit, his bibs and everything, the Carhartts.
Look, if you slow that replay down, you can see the Rumley device there up under Flippo's car. The funniest thing about that you see that lumberjack driving suit that Jerry Flippo's avatar is wearing. He's got that driving suit in real life, Jerry. There's a picture of him. He won his first IMCA modified race. In the picture of him in Victory Lane, that's what he's wearing, is buffalo plaid and jeans, but it's a fire suit. One of the best things I've ever seen. Ultimate Dirt TV plays again. If you want to sponsor us, we're back underway.
Back to the green flag, racing down the back straightaway. We are on the back half of this one now. Just past the halfway market, still Evan C., Blake Majulis, now Matthew Logan. Hang on, they will go scurrying down through the grass. A little agricultural racing off of turn number 4. But meanwhile, battle for thirds back underway.
Absolutely. These guys really battling here. You hate to see Jerry Flippo and Jacob Fields get into each other as teammates, but Matt Logan's got a good run and going. He's holding on to third. Barry Sorensen, or Baby Barry Hagen Sorensen, holding on to his own. One of the few small team drivers up there is Hunter Parsons, now a member of Ryco. You see another D1 RT driver, and then FTP, the entry of Robert Fletcher, of course, affiliated with VLR. So look at Hagen Sorensen having another good run, holding his own.
As Evan C., Majulis, Matthew Logan, they'll work it on there. Hunter Parsons, after scooping the Jerry Flippo machine, and the rest of them is rallied back, of course, to the number 5 spot. He's 2 out of a podium. Can the Title Town Terror make his way on up? And we will see. Or will the 0 not be a hero? We'll find out as they work him off of turn 2 and down the back straightaway here in his home state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, tall order for him here in this one. Brett, what was that in our year? Robert Fletcher running 6th, up 15 spots from his starting spot there at the back of the field. As Parsons going to smash the concrete down the back straightaway. He's going to lose a bunch of momentum. Ruggiero Jr. is going to close up on him. They're going to lose touch with Hagen Sorensen. They're running forward as he starts to lose touch just a little bit with Matt Logan, Majulis, and C on another planet already, Jerry.
They are gone on this one. I think they could load up and go home. They're about done as they race on down the front straightaway. The 77 of Fletcher. Fletcher and Parsons now doing battle. Right behind him is Ruggiero. Side by side down the back straightaway. Hunter Parsons on the outside. Fletcher on the bottom. Then you got Ruggiero and Carter right there with them as they all chase down in that 45 of Hagen Sorensen.
Yeah, that 77 of Fletcher dialed in around the bottom of the racetrack as he continues to work here on the low side underneath Ruggiero Jr. And he starts to look underneath Hunter Parsons for 5th. A top 5 for an up-and-coming driver like Fletcher would be a pretty great story here at the end of season 11. Definitely a way to build momentum as we head into next season. Sorensen having a great run tonight as he holds down 4th behind Logan, Majulis, and C.
As they keep running on around, so around they rear and around they tear here at Cedar Lake with 10 to go. Field to work on down there. Hunter Parsons still holding off that battle of Fletcher, Ruggiero, Carter, Holbert, and Devon. As they race on in, that is the back half of your top 10 in that running order as they thunder back down the back straightaway.
Yeah, great racing here in the top part of the field, battling for the top 10 spots, top 5 spots in a couple of cases, as C and Majulis off to the races. Way out in front, Evan C. holds on to a race lead, holds on to the points lead. He's looking to protect that championship with a win as we're inside 10 to go. Logan to the bottom, Sorensen to the outside. Battle for third is on.
They work him on in there. Sorensen to the top. You've got the 25 of Logan on the bottom, side by side as they get wheel to wheel. Here comes Hunter Parsons. Parsons around the top of the racetrack. We're going to see what happens at 55 down on the bottom as they hurry off of turn number 4, or turn number 2 down the back straightaway. What a battle. You have got them racing. Sorensen, Parsons down the front chute, just 4 to go.
Yeah, great racing here. The inside line maybe starting to fade as you see the black band really starting to darken up around the low line of the racetrack where Matt Logan's running. It's possible he doesn't have the moisture there that these guys have around the cushion here at Cedar Lake tonight, as this track is definitely a different animal under night racing conditions than it has been the day racing we've been watching until iRacing paid the light bill and got this place lit up as we've got 4 to go. Sorensen continues to run in third, but Hunter Parsons is coming.
Parsons is working it there, just a lane off the cushion. Now he's through the slick. lets it slide up. We'll grab that little bit of moisture off it too, but when he does that, he slipped the tires a little bit. Here comes Matthew Logan. Back around the top of turn number 4. It'll be Parsons and Logan still side by side. Hagen Sorensen working right there in the number 3 spot. Ruggiero in 6th. This time, they'll come across the starters, come past the Greenbelt Premium Beer starter stand, and there's 2 to go.
Yeah, 2 to go for your leaders. Evan C. starting to work into lap traffic. He's already worked through lap traffic as the White Silk is out. The final lap of season 11 is underway, and Evan C. is on his own. They say no man is an island, Jerry, but I beg to differ. C way out in front as they work through turns 3 and 4. He's going to come through the slick on the high side, power down the front straightaway to his 2nd championship of the evening and a feature race win. Blake Majula 2nd. Iowa's Hagen Sorensen going to bring it home in 3rd.
We'll take a look at your finishing order here as they get everything squared on off. Pull it up here on the screen momentarily as another fabulous late model feature here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. Of course, the Cedar Lake Speedway known for the Masters, known for the USA Nationals, big late model races here in Wisconsin. And it's Evan C. with the win. Blake Majulis, Hagen Sorensen, Hunter Parsons, John Ruggiero, your top 5.
Yeah, 6th on back is Matt Logan, Robert Fletcher, Alan Holbert, James Grayson, the 269 Blue Group Motorsports entry 9th. Brent Carter going to bring it home in 10th.
Looking at 11 on back, we'll see Clay Debon, Dustin Powell, Mike Augustine, Trent Hitchens, and Ryder Cantilio, your top 15.
It's the First Lady of Dirt, Jennifer Haas, going to bring it home in 16th spot. Eric York, Tanner Folds, Jerry Flippo going to fall back to 19th spot. Jacob Fields, his teammate, in 20th.
Looking at your final 4 finishers, it's Jaden Wolf, Chase Hardy, Ethan Toder, and Hunter Poston, your 24th finishers. So those are your cars and stars that made their way to the Cedar Lake Speedway Championship main tonight. What a fabulous season we had upon us.
Absolutely. Couple lead changes in that race, just indicative of the great racing we saw all season long in this division. Of course, usually it was you and Brett Wheeler in the booth. Happy to be here, slotting in for Brett this evening, probably still recovering from Barbara the Ghost and their encounter earlier. We're going to take a quick commercial break here, and we'll be back with post-race coverage, interviews of your top 3 drivers and champions coming up right after this on Ultimate Dirt TV.
Well, welcome back here on Ultimate Dirt TV for the championship night, the World of Thunder Esports Leagues, the Pro Late Models, the Warrior Logistics Pro Late Models. And of course, we cannot thank Warrior Logistics enough. Of course, they are a rapidly growing, veteran-owned, independent contractor providing line haul freight services for FedEx Ground. They are, of course, a Fortune 50 company. And if you're a CDL driver, if you're an over-the-road driver, if you're a freight driver and you're looking for a change, give them a call, give them a shout at Warrior Logistics. Head on out. They've got job postings on Indeed for Texas, Kansas, and I believe Missouri. If you're looking to make a change, head to a great company like Warrior Logistics, as not only do they help support everybody, they're veteran-owned, and they work with us every Sunday night here on the World of Thunder, bringing you the Warrior Logistics Pro Late Models. And speaking of that, I'm going to send her down Zach Newton. He has got the podium for us. And let's start and see who he's got finishing third.
Well, baby Barry Hagen Sorensen, 2 podiums tonight, bud. You got to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I'm feeling really good about that. It's been a good night overall. Supers finished second. Yeah, that was a really good run there. Hopefully, I wish I could have got the win in the Supers, but it was close. And then the pros, I think I started around 5th. Yeah, I started 5th and got all the way up to 3rd, and I hit the wall a few times. And 4th place got around me, and I had to use the high side to get back around him with all that momentum, and he made a few mistakes on the bottom, and I got by him with all that momentum on the high side.
Yeah, great runs for you tonight in that 45 machine, 100% racing. Of course, a new team that you and Tanner have started up, and you've had a bunch of success here tonight. Definitely going to build some momentum for you into season 12. Won't keep you too long. I know there's a whole bunch more racing coming up. We got big block modifieds in a little bit. I know there's a whole lot of fun to be had on Sunday nights here on iRacing. So any sponsors on that 45 you want to thank, man?
First off, I got to thank my mom and dad. I couldn't even be doing this without them. Then I got to thank Folds Graphics doing all my wraps, and all the boys back at 100% Racing helping me out.
All right, well, that is Hagen Sorensen coming home in 3rd behind Evan C. and Blake Majulis. We're going to throw it to Jerry Van Sickle, who has caught up with our runner-up in the race and points, Blake Majulis.
Blake, you take the bridesmaid tonight, but what a season it's been here on the World of Thunder Esports League, the Warrior Logistics Late Models. Man, can't with the 2 caliper drivers that you and Evan C are, you knew it was coming down to tonight.
Right, yeah, it just wasn't as good. That's all right. Yeah, overall a good season for sure.
I tell you, working this place, like we said, it's Cedar Lake brand new. They just, they haven't we haven't been able to run too many nights under the lights. From the daytime to the nighttime, how does this place change, and what do you got to do different to with these setups on these hot rods?
Yeah, it seems just like a typical iRacing track. Just goes one lane. Top was good there for a little bit, and then it went right to the bottom within like 15 laps there. On the next restart, it was 0.3 off. So it definitely it's kind of like any other typical track. The top usually starts out pretty good, and rotates to the bottom, or evolves around the bottom.
I guarantee, I would have to assume it's like like when we race cars outdoors, track prep guys listen to some of the feedback. Of course, I know this track's only been on a couple weeks, and I'm sure they're listening to some of the comments and taking some of the emails, and hopefully can make some changes to make things with the new racetracks a little better. But speaking of changes, we always change the wraps between the 2 hot rods, from the Supers to the Pros, and on those wraps you got some great sponsors. And who do you want to thank for the runner-up finish tonight?
D1RT Race and Sim Seats, ML Performance, Folds Graphics, Bighorn Taxidermy, Shop32.com, and everything you guys do for me. Thank you.
All right, so Blake Majulis, runner up, and we're going to make our way. Zach, you found a winner and a champion.
Yeah, Evan C. doing both tonight. He sweeps night 2, or week 2 of the championship Sunday. Evan, you got to be feeling pretty good. You get a big win by a large margin, dominating fashion. You eke out a points lead. You came in with just a 2-point lead. You're able to protect that here in this one. You got to feel good.
Yeah, I definitely know it's going to be pretty tough because, I knew Blake was going to be fast. He was fast in the Supers here, and I figured it'd be a pretty close race, and kind of just stuck with the game plan that I was going to use in the Supers, and that was just kind of run the bottom and, wait for the track to come to me, and kind of figured once it came to us there, we'd be pretty good on the bottom, and was able to just kind of, move Blake up there a little bit and, get a nose under him. And, I figured if I can just get the lead back later on in the race, we could, pull away because, like I said, I felt pretty good on the bottom. and just kind of waited for that top to slow down, and it all worked out for us today.
Yeah, absolutely. A great run for you as a representative of Team VLR. A great run for you, really, period. You had a lot of success this season here in the World of Thunder. Any sponsors you want to thank on that number 33 machine that helped get you here?
Yeah, I just got to thank everybody, Team VLR, FTP, Jeff Brown and Iris and Flag for all he does. Jimmy, Next Soul Designs for all the paints, awesome work he does. Captain Morgan, shotforyou.com, Kevin Deadman, his band Dirty Grass Soul, CFM Esports, and just thank y'all guys for doing the broadcast. Like I said last time, every week for us. Definitely makes it cool to go back and watch it. And, Steven for putting on a series for us. Definitely a fun season.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Evan. Congratulations on the win. A big congratulations on the championship for you and for your team, Victory Lane Racing. For all of us here at the World of Thunder Esports League, that will do it for competition in Season 11. We will have a special Big Block Modified event coming up in just a little bit here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Jerry, any parting words, my man?
Like I said, what a. So I was sitting here looking at something. I looked down and my blue light wasn't on, so I knew I wasn't. I was talking. Yeah, I seen Barbara. She went running by the window out here. She's streaking out here in Des Moines. So, can't thank everybody enough. We can't thank the racers. We can't thank the fans that watch us on Facebook and on YouTube through Ultimate Dirt TV. Can't thank Brett enough for sitting back in the production studios there in Australia, taking care of giving everybody the great footage that you see. Steve and the crew for putting Steve and the crew for putting on that. And of course, Warrior Logistics, like we said, they're hiring team truck drivers for the Dallas, Houston, and Kansas City markets. If you're in those areas, check them out. You can contact them at drive@warriorlogistics.com. And none of this would be at all possible if it wasn't for the folks at iRacing. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't get these racetracks, we wouldn't get these cars, we wouldn't get to do this. So we can't thank we can't thank enough. We can't thank them enough. We can't say thank you enough to our sponsors, iRacing, Warrior Logistics, and everybody that makes this happen. I mean, you and I, we just get to come and have fun and chat a little bit and talk, and it makes Sundays. It makes a good nightcap for a great weekend.
Absolutely. Great way to wind down on Sunday nights. Well, for all of us here at Ultimate Dirt TV and everybody at the World of Thunder Esports League, Steve and Alex and Jerry and Brett and all the guys, BJ Duvall behind the scenes, we want to thank you for supporting us for Season 11. Season 12 coming up real soon. All kinds of awesome stuff headed your way. Until then, be safe. Enjoy your holidays. We'll see you on the other side. It's World of Thunder Esports League coverage of the Warrior Logistics Pro Late Model Series only on Ultimate Dirt TV. We'll see you for Big Block Modifieds in just a little while.